Oh yes, that's a story that broke yesterday and continues to generate a lot of talking points today. Dr. Austin Nweze joins us now to give his perspective on this matter. He's an economist and also is now the governorship candidate of Social Democratic Party in Ebonyi State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
How significant is this news to you?
Well, it's a little bit significant in the sense that we're, for the first time, I believe, I hope I'm right, that federal government has to reduce price without a fight. And that is just the whole thing. But again, one begins to wonder the details. For instance, in the oil and gas, they have the longest chain of middlemen, and that's how federal subsidy, and people believe that they fund corruption that way, because every step of the way there's somebody somewhere who is being paid either 1 naira or 50 kobo or 3 naira and all that. So that adds up, to the price of petrol. So it's important that we recognize the fact that this new regime, is a welcome development. But again, how long this will last, that's another thing.
Are you saying that, who knows, it might be jacked up again if you say how long would it last?
Yeah, of course, because they will tell you, okay, when the international price of petrol dropped, they reduced price. So when it goes up again, are they going to increase it? And experts believe that oil price will also rebound, but when, nobody is sure. But some believe that within the year, it might rebound to maybe, 50, depends on those forces that, cause these prices to go. The volatility of the Middle East,
yeah.
The problem of in Syria, the ISIS, IS, Islamic State, and how well and OPEC also, whether they will remain, production will remain, or they have to reduce to boost up the price and all that.
But would it be tenable or a good idea for them to say, well, because oil prices, maybe when it does go up, they also check the prices up, because it used to be between 100 some time ago, 110, even if it was 90. And then it fell to sometimes 50, 60, almost half. And this is just 10, okay, maybe not just, this is 10 naira reduction.
Yeah, 10 naira reduction, yes. Well, you see, whatever government, mostly government anywhere in the world, and Nigeria is no exceptions, when government of Nigeria said, okay, we're doing something for national interests, they're not telling us the truth. The fact is that there's some individual or group or sectional interest that is being, taken care of, because that's what politics is all about. Okay, so in most times, if they say government ban this, it's not for the national interest. It's for a group of people. It happens in the U.S. When the Republicans are in power, America tends to go to war more often, because of what? The interests of the gun dealers and gun manufacturers. Okay, so you see, this thing that happened is about interest, not about the common man.
So you sense politics in this too?
Well, it's quite fortunate and unfortunate happening at this time that politics is on the air and is in the air and all that. But whether politics or not, it's all about interest. It could be political interest, it could be business interest, it could be economic interest.
It tilts
but
more.
not interest of the common man, as you will, because it's going to take time. Okay, before the common man on the street. The question is, when the price of fuel went up, like in 2012, after the Occupy Lagos protests, prices, the tomato seller in the market jacked up her price because of this. Are they going to reduce the price of food items?
So that's the risk, right?
Yes.
So it stays there.
It stays there. So what about transportation? Now, the interstate transport companies, those that apply, even local, is a private car owners like you that will benefit, has immediate impact. Travelers are still paying.
Assuming the pump prices reflect it immediately.
Immediately, yes. Because as of this morning, some people still bought at 97 naira because some fuel stations have not really adjusted their
In
prices.
fact, I think, Dr. Nweze, that's where I also want you to comment on being someone who is also into communication and language. When we say with immediate effect, knowing full well that we had buyers, or we have buyers who had already the petroleum products right on the ground, dispensing already at 97. So when we say immediate effect and DPR to swing into action, does that mean that the man who's already bought at the old price must comply? And if he does, who pays the excess?
You know, okay, those are the owners of the gas stations,
Yeah,
right?
gas stations.
Yeah, because one is that the government has to compensate one way or the other. Okay, they have to compensate. Because you have old stock, you know, already at being sold at this. But even then, with the old stock, fuel can be sold at 50 naira, and they can still make profit. If you cut off the long chain of the middleman, okay, you can still make a profit. So, and this happening now, you know, when you say immediate effect, in Nigeria, we don't run a 24-hour economy, okay?
But we saw that immediacy when they announced that increase in pump price. In fact, that was where people got the news first.
Yes.
Before the press.
Now, because they have to wait till 8 a.m. when work resumes, formally, officially, so that they'll begin to make the adjustment. They can give excuse, oh. And that's what the point I made, that we don't run a 24-hour economy where, you know, there's no day, there's no night. You know, businesses are running, and you can, gas stations are open 24 hours and all that. Okay, so we don't run that. They go to sleep. They'll tell you, okay, we wake up at 6, our manager has not come, so we cannot adjust anything without the permission of the manager.
Are we just getting this right, or just realizing that this is how business should be run? Because I recall it was on Sunrise Daily, we were trying to, well, see reasons why there should be a drop in the petroleum prices. And I also recall that well, a presidential candidate for an opposition, Muhammad Buhari, also called for a reduction. That was in December. And the coordinating minister of the economy at that time, then, Kunjawala, did say, well, Nigerians shouldn't expect any reduction in petroleum prices. What do you think truly has happened in this whole dynamics, knowing full well that someone in government had already spoken on this, telling Nigerians, hey, don't think about it, we're not about to reduce this yet. Okay. And now we're getting to see this
now,
yesterday.
Maybe one of the surprise packages, and again, don't forget that there was a time it was rumored that they were going to increase. Because one is that government needs money. The oil price has really affected the revenue stream of the government. And they need money to finance the budget. The 2015 budget has not been finalized because they haven't made up their minds which benchmark to use. Is it 65? Meanwhile, the oil price is at 46 or 40-something naira. So it's a huge issue that they have to deal with, you know, before coming out at this.
And that brings me to my own question. As an economist and one who, you know, watches the economy as well, is this something you would recommend? Because here's government looking for how to finance the budget, and here we are, you know, subsidies are almost non-existent in the sense that because the price of crude oil has gone down, the amount of subsidy you're really paying on the petrol that comes into the country is almost non-existent. I mean, it's very minimal, if any at all, that, you know, you can actually afford to bring down the price of petrol. Is it something that you would have advised?
Yeah, because one is that any policy that is against the people is not a good policy. You know, what most economists grow because they have policies that favor, that improves the quality of life of the people and the standard of living of the people. So Nigeria is one of the few OPEC nations where a bottle of water costs less than a liter of fuel. In most OPEC nations, a bottle of water is more expensive. So what are we benefiting? Okay? And it's not that they cannot afford to sell at a certain rate. They can. But if you diversify the economy and have other sources of revenue stream, then you can afford to say, okay, rather than, you know, kill yourself on this one product, then it's better that let the people, use the money to, develop build infrastructure.
We're going to take